Hi, second graders. This is Mrs. King, and I'm going to be talking to you today about how I became so interested in butterflies, most specifically, though, monarch butterflies.
All right, Mrs. King. So your first question is, how did you first become curious about monarch butterflies?
Well, my love of butterflies goes way back to when I was a little girl. My dad used to get the monarch butterfly caterpillars from our garden because we had a big milkweed patch in our garden. And of course, you might know that monarch butterflies only will feed on milkweed plants. And so he would bring them in our house, and he had a big mayonnaise jar that he would put on top of something we called a china cabinet, where my mom kept all her beautiful china, and it was way up high, and he would have maybe 2 caterpillars in there, and I would beg my dad to bring the mayonnaise jar down because it was empty and it was clear, so I could just sit and watch the caterpillars. They would chomp, chomp, chomp the leaves, and I loved that. And then I loved it when they would turn into a chrysalis, and then, as you know, after the chrysalis stage, they come out into the monarch butterfly. So I grew up with it, and I've always been really interested in that whole process of going from like a little ugly, wormy caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly.
Okay, and once you knew you were curious about monarch butterflies, how did you gather more information about them?
Well, I was, as a young girl, I was curious, but I wasn't really gathering information then, except I would always be just very watchful. So that's one way I would gather information, is just by watching the butterflies, watching the caterpillars, kind of studying what they ate, what they moved. They actually even kept a little logbook of how long they would stay in the caterpillar stage and how long would they stay in the chrysalis stage. I actually still have that little notebook with my notes, and I think I was doing that around 8 or 9 years old. So then when I became much older, now I gather information by looking at the internet. I found some really great websites that talk about butterflies and monarchs, and I read all kinds of books on butterflies.
Okay. Once you learned more about monarch butterflies, how did you start to share your learning and passion for butterflies with others?
Well, I would share it with the people in my neighborhood. Right now, I have a couple neighbors who are also very interested in butterflies, so we would swap stories on different, not only monarch butterflies, but other different caterpillars we would see in our garden. So I would talk to the people that I lived around, and then once I started working at Allendale Columbia, I knew I wanted to bring a monarch butterfly, chrysalis, and caterpillar into the classroom, and I wanted to share it with all the first graders and anybody else who was interested.
Okay, last question. What advice would you give someone who is just starting to pursue something they are curious or passionate about?
I would say read anything you can get your hands on. Never give up. If you can't find information, keep looking. Go to every source you can. Go on the internet. Talk to your teachers. Talk to librarians. Talk to people, other people that may share the same passions as you do. One of the ways with the butterfly is I found a gardener that worked in a neighborhood church garden of ours, and I would go down to this garden, and this person knew so much about nature and about butterflies. I would just sit and talk to him, and he gave me so much information. So I would say, just if you're really truly passionate about it, just keep asking and keep searching, and you're going to find information. And you know what the best part is you never stop learning. Here I am. I've been looking at butterflies since I was 8 or 9 years old, and I learn something new all the time about monarchs. So that's what's great about when you're passionate about something, you can go so deep and learn so much.
Thank you so much, Mrs.
You're
King.
welcome. I can't wait to hear what you guys learn about.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.